Hey, everybody, it's Monday Motivation. Monday Motivation. I'm so glad you're here. Cliff Yates live on my channel. Well, we are broadcasting, live streaming to a couple different platforms. Let me know where you are in the world. And hey, are you thriving, striving, or are you struggling? Maybe you're going through some challenges. I want to offer you some encouragement today. Hey, the title of this live stream, the theme of the stream is There is No Way to Happiness. Happiness is the way. Little switch on the lingo there, okay? No way to happiness. Happiness is the way. In other words, choose it now. Hey, and then we're going to happily achieve. Don't make the destination the cause of your happiness. You may associate achieving something with happiness, and that'll happen. But for a short time, that's going to fade real quick. Better that we happy along the way. Hey, listen, if 99% of the time we're on the journey, let's make that the happy part. If we make sure the happy part is only at the end, that's going to be a smaller window. I want a bigger window of happiness. I don't know about you. Hey, thanks for chiming in. I love it. If you have any questions, I'm going to try to get to the questions I didn't get to yesterday in the live stream, and they were pretty good questions I took off of my email, cliff@cliffyates.com. And hey, there's a lot of people out there thriving and striving. There's a lot of people who are trying to do better each day in every way, and they're trying to transform into something better, to become more. Sometimes I get caught up thinking, is there anybody else out there who's trying to do better, to be better, to become more? And then I get out in the world and I see, hell yeah, there's a lot of people. I come on a live stream and I interact with some people when I go live, and it's great to hear and see. But I definitely want to give you the gift of encouragement tonight, live here from Central Florida. That's where I'm at. And I had some notes here. But hey, listen, let me know where you're at. Get on. I got the chat brought up. If you have any questions about transformation, hey, how we can get better every day in every way, listen, I'll do the best I can. Happiness is a skill that we develop. It's not something that just shows up at the front door knocking. Who's that? Happiness here. Negative. Not coming. So there's a lot of things we can do to guarantee that we can be happy for a great amount of time. Listen, it's not going to be always. It's not going to be 24/7. Get that out of your head. But we can really be in control of our state, right? Tony Robbins has built his whole career on state change. Being in a positive state, not positive thinking, not positive mindset, but a positive state. And he really incorporated early in his teachings NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, how we can program ourselves to be anchored with movements, sounds, and focus, to associate that with a state. And then at any time we can call on that state and we can become that state. We can do it intentionally instead of just floating around and then let other outside circumstances and forces dictate our emotions and how we feel. No way. No one can cause us to feel anything or any emotion unless we give them permission. And we're not going to do that. We claim our power, right? Hey, so glad you're here. If you have, and let me know where you're at. Type in the comments section where you're at. Let me know what you're doing. Are you thriving? Are you challenged right now? Are you struggling? Are you getting through something, or you're on top of the world right now? Hey, you got some big, powerful goals that are drawing you forward. They're pulling you. You can't wait to jump out of bed in the morning and get after it, because in your mind, you've created an image in your future that is really pulling you in the direction you want to go. I hope that's the case. If it is, I love it. I want to encourage you to keep going, persevere. Perseverance beats talent every single time. It's amazing how that works. Perseverance beats talent all the time. I was watching something about Bruce Lee earlier today. Bruce Lee, I just loved all his philosophical teachings and his writings. I got a couple of his books. He always talks about, be water, my friend, be water. Water is the softest substance there is, right? It's soft. It's flexible. It goes where the channel directs it to go. And yet it carved through the hardest stone of the Grand Canyon. Softest substance, most powerful. Over time, it cut through and created the Grand Canyon. Water did that. The softest substance cut through that. That's the power of nature, the laws of nature. And if we learn to use them, wow, we're going to be powerful because, hey, we're part of the whole universe. We're a part of it. Just like the grain of sand plays its part, we play our part. You play your part. And happiness can be ours by making the choice. Choose to be happy now while you pursue what you want. And let me tell you, achieving along the way is going to be that much sweeter. It's going to have the sauce, baby, if you're already happy as you happily achieve. Hey, all right, listen, no comments so far. Don't be afraid. Jump on there. I want to know where you are in the world. I want to know where you are in your life. Are you thriving? Are you striving? Are you struggling? Do you have some challenges? Do you have any questions? I made a transformation in my life over 35 years ago. I've been on this journey, right? You're in the journey 99% of the time. Make that the happiest part of your life. We're always on a journey, almost continuously, and so we can be almost continuously happy and joyful. We can do it. So let me go to some of the questions from yesterday I didn't get to, but don't hesitate. Get on here. I want to know. Let me know where you are in the world and where you are in your life. Hey, you thriving? You striving? Hey, do you have any questions about transformation, changing the way you think? It's very important. If you want to change your life and change the direction it's in, or just get to the next level, you just want to ramp things up. That's what I love about going live. I leave the mistakes in. There's no editing out. It stays in. It's not going anywhere. Monday Motivation, everybody. March 23, 2026. It is 23rd still, right? Yeah. Here's a question from the email, cliff@cliffyates.com. How do we shift our mindset to find joy in the journey rather than focusing solely on the destination? Well, once you decide where you want to go, what you want to get, what you want to become, you have created that image in the theater of your mind in a future time. You have the image, bright color. You've created it. You've written it down. Maybe you have it. You have that picture all over. Maybe you have a vision board, and that's drawing you to the next step towards that destination. So once you have that as a dominating thought in your mind, you know exactly, specifically what you want. You've married that desire as a deep, burning want with strong emotion, because that told your subconscious mind, okay, that's important. And now I've got to garner the forces of the universe to come forward to manifest that into physical reality for you. Hey, what's up, Martin? I love Martin. Oh, my goodness. So glad to have you here, Martin. Thank you for chiming in. I got to put your comment up on the board here. Martin is someone who, I tell you, he is, I forgot your age, Martin. I know you're over 70, but still, here you went and led an expedition from the North Pole to the South Pole by human power. The first one to do it by human power, skiing, bicycling. I think it took you over 9 months, and you actually picked the people to go on the expedition. You wanted to make sure that they were healthy enough mentally and physically to make that journey. I mean, that was one of the best stories that I've had on my podcast. Martin, thanks for checking in, my brother. You're awesome. I get fired up now just thinking about our conversation. I got to have you back on. I want to know what you're doing, because it seems like you're, well, you know, I know you're over 70, but your spirit, like mine, I know it's 32. And so I know you're still out there getting after it. I appreciate you. It was so great meeting you. And so, Martin, I got to put your book back up there again. I love your book, The Story of This Expedition. Wild stuff, man. You've got courage, my friend. You've got courage. Hey, I'm not doing enough when I think about your story. Anyways, like Martin, right? He had that image in his future to get to the South Pole and bring a whole expedition of a youth group from the North Pole to the South Pole. He mapped it out. He knew where he was going. He had a destination in mind. But then he could reverse engineer back to day one, back to the start. He knew he wasn't going to get there on day one. That was the final destination. Dominating thought, a plan. He planned each day along the way, but then he reverse engineered that back to day one. Now, day one is where you are right now in the present. So you can be present in day one, and then it's easy for next step. What's next? You don't go automatically to the South Pole. It's next step. We're gonna get the dog sleds, we're gonna get the skis, and we have a waypoint that we're gonna get to at the end of today. We're gonna get to these 15 miles today, day one. So you reverse engineer back to your present. So you're not mind traveling to the end constantly. You've set that as your end image goal, and that's where you have pre-planted the excitement. So if you pre-plant the excitement at the end, then everything along the way is building to that excitement. So Martin didn't say, I'm so excited to start this expedition. I can't wait to start. No, he couldn't wait to get to the finish. So he made the excitement preloaded to the end so that each waypoint along the way, it was building to the end excitement. It was a build up. And he did it. He did it. And he's got a book about it. I should have had it. I didn't know he was going to be on today, but we're going to do another podcast with Martin for sure. I say waypoint because when you set, I have my captain's license. So when you set on your chart, if you're sailing or boating and you set a destination point, right, on the chart, well, along the way, depending if it's a long ways away, you have waypoints. So you're not going directly to your final port. There's a waypoint along the way. You're going to get there, but along the way, I'm stopping here, stopping there, and I'm stopping here. So today, we're going to this waypoint. It makes your trip a lot easier because every goal is possible if you will break it down into small chunks. That's actually an NLP philosophy. Everything is possible if you'll break it down to individual chunks, and it's all about timing. What is next? What is the next step? And so if you do that, you can have joy and happiness from day one, even though you're not at your final image destination. Hey, that was a great question. I can't believe I didn't think of that myself. What daily habits can help us appreciate the little moments and stay present? Have a morning routine. That's a great question. What daily habits can help us appreciate the little moments and stay present? Have a morning routine. When you get up, have morning questions. You know, I always talk about this, and I got this from Tony Robbins and other people, because our mind, our subconscious will answer any question. It takes commands. It does not argue with us. Our conscious mind can accept or reject. The subconscious cannot reject. It accepts everything that you plant in it. So in the morning, plant a question about, every morning if you got up, what am I most grateful for in my life? What am I most grateful for? And then your brain, your subconscious looks for those answers. See, if you get up in the morning and say, oh my God, what am I dreading today? What are the problems I have to face today? Why am I so screwed up? Your brain's going to look for those answers. And now look at the state you have created. Nobody on the outside, you, internally, you created that negative emotion, negative state. But instead, start momentum for the day, right? Have a daily routine in the morning. When you get out of bed, I'm going to ask my 5 power questions. Pick how many you want, but have 3. 3 powerful questions. Tony primes. So when he jumps out of bed, right, he changes automatically his physiology. Prime it. He gets up and he moves in a certain way. Automatically, he's changed his physiology. And then he asks questions. What am I most thankful for in my life? I'm so thankful for my wife, my husband, my mom and dad are still alive, my kids. I'm so happy. I'm healthy. I'm so grateful for that, God. Thank you so much. You cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. Those two opposing emotions cannot occupy your brain at the same time. So now if you're in a state of gratitude, you're feeling grateful, you're not going to be feeling frustrated, anger, and you're not going to be doom scrolling in your head or even on your phone. Stay out of the phone. You've got a daily routine now that you're going to do and habituate every day. What do you do every day? You start with your physiology, and then you ask your power, what am I most grateful for in my life? And then your subconscious mind is going to answer it. Question 1, okay, what am I most looking forward to in my life? What do I have coming up that I'm excited about? Oh, yeah, you have that expedition to the South Pole. Oh, yeah, is everything in place? Yeah. Oh, yeah, what can I do today to make sure that I am prepared so that when we start, right? What can I do today to bring joy to somebody else? Can I send 5 video messages to people just to say, hey, I was thinking about you. How you doing? I can't tell you how powerful that is. I've been doing that instead of just a text or a phone call. That's nice. Hey, use technology. Be a little creative. Get on the phone and take a video. Hey, Tom, I was just thinking about you. Want to send you a video message to say, hey, I hope you're doing great. Thinking about you. Talk to you soon. Boom. You can't imagine what that does to somebody's heart. I know because people tell me, hey, what you did with that video message, that touched me. A couple people said, hey, I'm going to do that too. I'm passing that on. Look at the cascade of joy that you're going to create. It's going to be a ripple effect. You're doing great. I'm proud of you. All right. That was a good question. That's what you can do. Morning routine. That'll keep you present. It'll keep you in the moment so that you are going to appreciate the little stuff. Maybe after you ask your power questions, you have your morning coffee, and you know, those of us that are Christians, that's usually a time we are alone and we have our personal relationship, our personal conversation with God. We're in a quiet, usually we're up before anybody else, and now that's our time. That's our time that maybe we read the Bible, we have a conversation with God, we've asked our power questions. Look at the state. We have created momentum of a great state of mind as we go forward with our day. Look at all we've done. We may even exercise before we open the emails and the phone and everything else that might start, vying for our attention. That's what everything does today. It's vying for our attention. And so we're in a battle. We are going to choose what we focus on and what we pay attention to. Hey, that's a great question. If you haven't already, I know, Martin, I think you're up in Canada. All right, my friend. All right. Let me know where you're at in the world and where you are in your life. Martin, I already know. Last time I talked to him on my podcast, he was still achieving and he was believing. And let me tell you something. That guy, he's amazing. Ageless wonder that we all can be if we choose. All right. I got a third question from yesterday's email. How can we balance pursuing long-term goals with enjoying where we are right now? This kind of goes with number 2, right? We got the morning routine. We have other things. You don't just have one main goal in life. You have many other goals in life. Maybe one of those goals is to get up super early, join the 5 a.m. club, right? Read the Bible, get alone with God. Or, maybe you have the short-term goals. You want to have short-term goals. You want to be creating wins along the way. If you got to wait, if your image of success is way out there, even if it's distance or maybe time, right? Hours, weeks, years away. Hey, you want wins along the way before getting there. You make sure you're getting daily wins. Set them up. Short-term goals. You want to have a bunch of goals for the day, right? The night before, you set this goal for today. Hey, and you're going to get smashed into that dopamine hit tomorrow when you achieve that mini goal, right? Always have those mini wins. Get those mini wins going. Always be having mini wins. Mini wins are important. Create them, achieve them, and man, you're going to habituate winning. All of a sudden, you're going to realize, shit, I'm loving that I'm a winner. All right, let's go to question 5. How can gratitude practices help us find happiness in everyday grind? First of all, don't describe it as a grind. Describe it. Change the word, right? Grind. Man, already boy, I'm tired just thinking about a grind. I got to hit the grind tomorrow. How can gratitude? Well, I taught you it's in the morning questions, right? What am I most grateful for in my life? And now you're in a state of gratitude. Now I know maybe you're not in the relationship, the job, the position that you ultimately want to be in, but we've already decided as a higher grade person, right, an A player, that we have learned to be happy with where we are while we pursue what we want. So we've already learned the nuances of being happy now while we continue to go after where we want to be. And if we do that, we can find joy and gratitude even in this job right now that we're not going to be staying here. We're not happy with it. Maybe they've been trying to make us miserable, although they don't have that power anymore. We've kind of taken that away from them. They have no power over us and our emotions. And so gratitude practices, the questions, that's going to help you get into a state of gratitude. Count your blessings. I wish I remembered that song. Oh my goodness, it's in that movie White Christmas. I was singing it this Christmas. Yeah. Well, yeah, when I'm tired and I can't sleep and I can't count sheep, I try counting blessings, something like that. But count your blessings. I'm telling you, if you look back, what am I most grateful for? And you start look back, you're gonna see, wow, I have a lot to be grateful for. Wow. Things could have went really bad here, there. Ooh, maybe they went bad. Ooh, you know what? I'm grateful it's over. I am in a different spot now. Hey, and if you're going through something, keep going. What's that saying? If you're going through hell, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep moving. Keep moving forward. If you're in a storm, keep moving so you get through that storm. And you can get through it. But an attitude of gratitude, absolutely. Help us find happiness in everyday grind. Tony Robbins used to talk about this, right? He came up with neuroassociative conditioning. In other words, we're neurologically wired to have certain emotions connected to certain words. People would do that when they're getting ready to fight. When I was a cop, I noticed when people said certain words, they were getting themselves into a state so they could start throwing blows. And after a while, you could predict it. You could predict when somebody was just getting ready to start throwing blows because they would fire themselves up into a certain state with words by saying certain words loud and proud. And Tony used an example where that he had been waiting in line for a long time at the hotel. And when he finally got right to the counter, he said, boy, he said to the guy behind the counter, waiting so long, I've been really peeved. This really peeved me. And the counter guy laughed. Tony laughed because there was no emotional attachment to peeved. It was such a softball word. It made him, he didn't have any emotional connection to it, right? If he went in there with strong huffing and puffing, I'm so pissed off right now. You tell yourself you're pissed off. You feel like you have an obligation to act pissed off. And so change the wording. So get rid of everyday grind. Hey, man, it's an everyday challenge at my work. Every day is a challenge to get through, and I do it. Every day it's a win when I get through this challenge, and it's making me stronger, and it's making me stronger. And that's the way to look at it, right? Change your perspective on things. Change the way you're looking at something. Everything is relative, right? This glass is neither big or small until it's compared to another one. It's relative. Everything is relative to anything else. To a shot glass, this is a big glass. It's all relative. Good question. I like it. How do we manage setbacks? Oh. How do we manage setbacks? Or, I don't know what the word, my writing is so bad, left-handed, I can't even read my own writing. Let's just go with setbacks. How do we manage setbacks? I know at the church, sometimes the pastors say, hey, sometimes a setback is a setup for something great, right? Sometimes the stone in your path is a stepping stone to something greater, right? If you adopt this philosophy, this really changed my life, really. When I started asking this question, when things would go a little bit awry, especially in my police job. Through every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if we will just look for it. Let me say that again. In every adversity, there's an equal or greater opportunity if we'll just look for it. Now, if you have that philosophy, when something bad happens, you're going to say, there's an equal or greater opportunity in this tragedy if I look for it. And so what is that? What is good about this? And so I used to ask that question. Things would happen. I'd say, okay, what's good about this? I remember, it was a time I started to get angry. I had a dispatcher in the LA Sheriff's Department, and, it wasn't a bad philosophy, but the dispatcher's philosophy was this. Now, a child abuse call was something that was or a rape call was something that was going to take hours, right? You're going to have to go to the hospital. You're going to have to contact the victim, who's going to be looked at by a doctor. You're going to collect evidence. You're going to bag and tag the evidence. You're going to wait till the doctor is done with the examination. You're going to start your report. And then by the time you get back to the station, you're going to have to book that evidence book it into evidence, right, in the evidence log and ledger. And then you're still going to have to hand in all your other reports and finish and, get your car gassed up. And so you're going to be a long time after shift. But this dispatcher's philosophy was, why am I going to give this call to someone that's coming on shift, right? Because they're going to be tied up for 3 or 4 hours, and now they're not going to be available when calls come in. When I can give this call to somebody that's just about ready to get off duty. And so I had like 20 minutes left in my shift. I was heading in. To the station, heading into the barn, as they say. Going to gas up, got a big night planned, and then here comes the call. Child abuse at the hospital, long ways away from the station. And then I started, the blood pressure started, right? The ears were red instantaneously. And then I said, okay, what's good about this? What is good about this? Now, I got to tell you, the minute I asked the question, it started changing my state already. As a matter of fact, I think I made myself laugh, and I changed my physiology for sure. I remember going through and changing my physiology. What's good about this? What is good about this? Wow, I'm going to go to the station. I'm going to be going to the hospital, right? I'm going to be at least 4 hours over my shift today. I'm going to get 4 hours of time and a half money, right? So this check, the next check with this overtime in it, just for this call, is going to be about $250 extra. So I'm already planning how I'm going to spend this money. I'm going to have such a great time with this money. And wow, while I'm at the hospital, I got 3 reports that I'm going to get finished up on. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to finish those reports, and then start that one there, collect the evidence. So by the time I get into the station, man, I got all my reports done for the day, got my overtime slip already made out, and I got my plans on how to spend that $250 already. What's good about this? Powerful question. Put that in your arsenal. I'm telling you, it changed my life just that one little bit. There was like 10 little morsels that I started changing in my life with my thinking. It all started to think how my life turned around in the Sheriff's Department. I had gotten into a negative place. Believe me, very, very negative. And I turned that around to where I got promoted. I performed for the Sheriff's Luncheon doing stand-up comedy. He requested me. I got a great job teaching at one of the specialized units. All these things happened. No degrees, no extra education. The change was in me. The change was in attitude. The change was in my thinking. And you can do the same. That's my Monday motivation for today is, hey, there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Happiness is the way, everybody. That's the message for today's Monday motivational video. Listen, if you think this might ring true to someone that you know, love, or hate, pass it on. Share it. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're building a community of progress here, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And I'm glad you're a part of it. If you want to get better every day in every way, you're in the right place. Hey, thanks for being here for this Monday Motivation.